So I did like the original Street Fighter 2. Now I want to talk about the Super version, which came out in 1993, practically after Hyper came out. Released by Capcom, again, this game came out on the new CP System 2 hardware. It was actually the first Capcom game. New graphics, audio, the refining and balancing of existing characters from like the original 12 characters, what happened, and also the voices were redone as well, from what I remember. No one sounds the same, except Dawson. When you kill him, he just sounds like Ryu, but that's another story. Super Street Fighter 2 also got Turbo in 1994, which was basically the final version of Street Fighter 2. Before Turbo constantly got like updated over and over again. That I'll kind of get into later. But yeah, let's dig right into it. So this game kind of like kept a scoring system with combos. So combos were practically existing in this game. First attack, reversals, recoveries give you extra points if you're able to do these sort of things. The improvement was the reversal, where you can actually do wake up attacks right after, or even just activities like blocking and stuff like that. Particularly E-Honda, this was probably very notable, as hitting an opponent with a light attack and immediately throwing their block animation would actually happen. In fact, it will generally happen with big characters. Now the 4 new characters before I get into it is Cammy from England, Phalon from Hong Kong, Jamaica had DJ, and T-Hawk Thunderhawk from Mexico. The speed system was kind of like tweakable and stuff like that. You just press left or right at the title screen. It was between 1 to 4 starts. 4 was the fastest. So yeah, the speed basically got nerfed in this game. DZ animations like Angels and Reapers were kind of given. Now, if you have a Grim Reaper, it's basically like very difficult to recover from. Stars and Birds were just the regular recovery, and Angels were like a very quick escape. Some of the new moves were added, and like kind of like the animations were altered, as well as the damage to make it extremely balanced. DZ combos that were like present in World Warrior, they got removed. So for example, if you try doing like jump medium kick, crouch medium kick, heavy short, it actually does not stun, okay? You gotta like do things like unblockable combinations on the DZ character that results in them being DZ'd again. So you're gonna have to work over and over. The opening sequence is also changed with the famous Ryu launching Hadouken on the screen. The frames were also drawn for characters in their basic moves and stuff like that. For example, Sagat and Vega did not have punches in previous games. They only just had like a stab and like one kick. Chun-Li has like a new animation for a Koken, just like Ryu and Ken does. Ryu and Ken were actually also given different like animations for the Hadouken as well. And as I said before, Ryu and Dawson actually share the same groans when they killed, and when throwing the opponent. The only difference you'll probably see this is the SNES version if I recall, but oh well. Now each characters have 8 color schemes, depends on what you press. The Light Punch has the color for Champion Edition. Hyper Fighting is done by Medium Punch. The Heavy Punch will give you one of the new colors featured. The Kick button also gives you new colors. Pressing the Start button or holding any button for 2 seconds gives you another skin. Although if you choose Balrog with his color scheme for Hyper Fighting, more than just his clothing will change color. He'll have a darker skin and green blocks and gloves. Color changes not seen in the CPS 1 version of Hyper Fighting, since most characters barely change skins unless you're someone like Vega. Tournament Battle, now, yeah, so Super Turbo, or just Super as a whole, was just really famous for its competitive scene. So those 8-player single eliminations, named as Tournament Battle, this was only available on the arcade cabinets. So you do 3 sets of 4 simultaneous matches. Whoever wins, it kind of just goes through the system of a tournament until like someone wins. The 12 characters basically come back. Special techniques were basically just balanced. New animations were even done, like Ryu's Shokunetsu Hadouken. was like an actual move, even though it was like a rare occurrence in the original games. And then new moves exist, like Ken's Flaming Shoryuken, which can only be done if you do the heavy version, and M. Bison's Double Reverse, which is performed by holding down, then up, and punch. Now, the roster is actually expanded to 16, as I mentioned, thanks to the 4 new characters. Now, we're also just covering Super as a whole, so I might as well cover Super Turbo, where Akuma was introduced. This was like a very revolutionary thing, and yeah, super combos were like new to this game, practically. So, a super combo is like an enhanced, at the time it was like an enhanced version of a regular super, which is performed with certain conditions that are met, and it will hit an opponent like at least more than once, obviously. I'ma just give you all a heads up. If you guys just want to know what the worst one is, it's literally E Honda's one. It's just not that good in terms of damage or anything like that. But anyway, there's like a gauge that you have at the bottom of the screen. You fill it up when you're doing things like your basic attacks or special moves on the opponent. When the combo is filled, it will be replaced with the word super. From there, you can just perform your super combo techniques by importing the specific command. Then it will actually reset the combo from 0. If you defeat an opponent with a super combo, then there's like a special background flash effect that happens. Juggle combos just somehow exist in this game, and that's what makes this game kind of just broken as hell. So unlike the juggle combos where the opponent is held up by the air by successive attacks, air combos are done when the character is performing like just not on the ground obviously, but they use the first hit of the combo or the launcher or pop-up to propel the opponent into the air and jump in pursuit to continue hitting in a close proximity throughout the duration of the jump. Characters like Dawson, who are less affected by gravity, actually do better in terms of maintaining these combos. The speed setting is like really fast in this game. Super Turbo is the first fighting game which we do not include the home versions to actually feature a speed setting. Now, this can be adjusted on the system configuration by the game's operator, or if the speed setting is set to free select, it can be chosen by the player at the start of the game. And yeah, like I said, it's actually faster than hyper fighting, so yeah. Other changes, the biggest change in this game was that the bonus rounds that we had, so like the car, the barrel, stuff like that, that got removed. We didn't see bonus rounds appear until like Street Fighter 3, I recall, where we had like Sean smacking, like, you have to smack, parry use Sean's basketballs. Hopefully we'll cover the Street Fighter 3 one soon, but anyway, this is just back to the actual topic. Extra characters exist, so kind of how Alpha had like extra characters. Yeah, Turbo had it, and it's how you can select your regular skins. You basically select your character, there's like an input that has to be on like down, up, down, and I think that was like Bison's input, I don't remember. But yeah, you'd play their versions in Super Street Fighter 2 with differences. Like for example, Vanilla Sagat in Super Turbo can cast a short kick into any special move, which is why he's extremely notorious in tournaments, because he actually can't do that in regular Super Street Fighter. Now let's talk about like the biggest thing in this game, which is Akuma. Now, to select him, the character must highlight read for 3 seconds, then T-Hawk for 3 seconds, Guile for 3 seconds, Kami for 3 seconds. Back to Ryu, wait for 3 seconds, hit the start button, simultaneously touch all 3 buttons. Now, I'm going to give you a heads up, even as someone who actually played Akuma in this, it's heavily weaker than the CPU version. For example, CPU Akuma can just throw 2 Hadokens in the air, whereas base Akuma that you play as only throws 1. The Tatsu into Shoryu combo is also kind of hard to perform. Also, there's major differences in attack and strength priority and player stamina, but overall more powerful than the other characters apparently. And as far as I can tell, there is actually no way to play as the overpowered CPU version in the original port. You can play like other versions of Broken Akuma, like Akuma in Alpha 1 was essentially the same thing. He was just like really busted considering how unbalanced the game was. And yeah, this game basically got remixed a hell of a ton of times. One of the ones I remember was Super Turbo Revival in 2001 on the Game Boy Advance. New title screen character illustrations happened. Because there was only 4 buttons in the hardware, 4 buttons can actually be customized. This is an option that allows easy performing of special and super combos. The animations were actually transferred from the SNES version. Techniques for the supers were used from the original Street Fighter 2 of this one. The outstanding heavy kick, for example, has him growing in size from one frame to the next. Only Akuma uses sprites exclusively from the arcade version, so yeah, he's the only one that uses his actual sprite. Some of the characters have been lifted from Alpha 2 for their stages, or Alpha 3. Ryu stage actually has its third strike appearance, but with minor differences. Akuma has its own stage. Yeah, it's just like, basically, like, different stages. Akuma can be fought if you have 5,000 versus points, or if you scored 5 perfects without losing. And I'm pretty sure that's just a generic thing on how to fight Akuma. All you gotta do is just win 5 perfects. Just gonna make sure you don't die. This game was like really interesting considering like how hard it is. Like this game realistically you cannot beat. Unless you like play the Japanese version where like it's pretty tweaked and stuff like that. The North American version apparently had a bug where like the difficulty and the speed is like insane. And yeah, once you fight, back to the Akuma thing, bro, I'm actually jumping from topic to topic. Once you fight Akuma, he'll Shungoku Satsu and Bison, so Bison is dead, and then you just fight him from here. Akuma does not do, like, he doesn't say anything in his win quotes, but in the Japanese version, he actually has win quotes, and I'm pretty sure he has an ending in either this version or maybe the Hyper Anniversary. But yeah, that's pretty much just like a really quick summed up version of Super Turbo. Hopefully we can get to Alpha as soon as possible. But yeah, stay tuned.